Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, if you please don't forget these are general readings, so not everything is going to resonate with everyone, and that's just fine. Don't forget to use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new beginnings for some of you. Very few of you, because we're right at the end of your season now. Happy damn birthday to you. Remember to fill your solar return with a little bit of everything that you want this year ahead to have in it. Now, the Fool card, new things, places, people, energy. Yes, absolutely. But this week there is going to be, and I feel like it's going to be about 2 or 3 moments. Usually the Fool card is just one moment that alters our course in some way, shape or form. And very often it's quite insignificant. Sometimes, however, they are an absolute smack in the face that you cannot ignore. Not like the Tower, but just like something that you're like, okay, that was weird. That was way too coincidental or synchronistic to be, you know, to ignore, right? So pay attention this week, and more importantly, let things unfold. Be okay with you, like your water anyway, and your cardinal water at that. So there's a sense that you know how to go with the flow. The crab walks sideways around things when it needs to. So allow yourself to be open to what is going to unfold for you, and it doesn't have to be steered by you. So for those of you that are continued subbies, you know I love you for it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. So your foundation for the reading is the Knight of Wands. Passion, vigor and excitement. You couple this then with the Fool card. This week you might have an opportunity to demonstrate why you are the best at something, or why your particular brand of magic in some way, shape or form speaks to the world. I actually really like this. I think it's going to be a really exciting week for you in a lot of ways. For some of you, this could be spontaneous travel, right? There's a sense here that things really are moving forward for you. Very exciting. So your actions and options this week, you've got the 8 of Cups. Coupled with the Fool card, this could be a moment where you come to the realization of what the new path is, right? Remember, the 8 of Cups is very often about walking away from something or leaving something behind. You add to that the Fool card. This might be something that spontaneously comes to an end because the next door is in front of you. For some of you, I get this feeling that you've maybe felt like you're being tested in some way, and it's like, oh my gosh, is it over yet? Like, am I done? Am I done? And you might realize that bam, all of a sudden you're at this brand new door to a new chapter. It is the 8 of Cups this week. Something could catch you off guard, and you might be very acutely aware of what you, now I know I'm going to go there and a lot of people are going to be like, really, Ralph? You might be acutely aware of what you're actually feeling. And I kind of feel like that's actually going to be a really positive thing for you. This week, it's like, it's not like you're Cancerian and in your feels. It's like you're Cancerian and you're identifying what your feelings are and using that as fuel to get to where you're actually wanting to be, or you're measuring your emotional response to something so that you can balance out the challenge that might arise from it. Very, very interesting. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Hanged Man. So this could be a powerful spiritual insight that comes up this week that has you really kind of, maybe not necessarily rocked, but it could have you like, whoa, you know, like this is, I'll give you an example. I remember when I was, I think I was about 19. At that point, I'd been doing a lot of really sort of deeper meditation. And I had this moment where I kind of went into what I understood to be my subconscious, and in my mind's eye, it was like I was swimming, and as I kind of got into the water of it, it was like, you know, that moment when you're in the water and you can't feel the floor anymore and you're like, it was a moment like that. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like the inner world it's way more vast than you're aware of. And if this is the depth of your subconscious, you know, you really do need something solid to hold on to. It was an exhilarating feeling, but it was also very scary at the time, because I mean, 19's quite young, you know. You think you know everything. I don't fucking know anything at that point. Sorry, I'm completely getting off task, but this week you could be having a really powerful spiritual insight that makes a very big difference to you. And it's really hard to explain, because sometimes when something so big and fundamental shifts on the inner plane and you can't put words to it, like, you know, even the story that I've told you there, it doesn't do justice to the experience of it. This week something could really shift fundamentally on the inner plane, and it might really have you view everything around you in a very different light. So just be aware that that is the case. Now, because this comes up in your communications, not everybody is going to be able to understand this, and so you've got to read the room, right? Know who you can talk to about what. There are some subjects and topics that you can't talk to Barbara at the supermarket about. There are, you know, not every conversation is for every place or every person that you know. Be aware this week. When it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, this could see an opportunity arising that you're in two minds about. And because you've got the Hanged Man here, even though you've got the Fool card, you are being urged to take a moment before you jump into it. All right, you need to consider what the implications actually are, and check in with the feels to ask yourself, how do I actually feel about this opportunity? That's going to be really important for those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. That Hanged Man card, again, very similar energy, but it's going to see you asking yourself, am I giving too much and expecting too much of myself? This week you got to get ahead of that, because it's kind of like you're going to say to yourself, or maybe, I mean, I can't tell you what you're going to say to yourself, but maybe you will be in that energy of, well, I just do more and that will be fine, and it might not. So just consider, because I don't want you to burn yourself out when it comes to I'm just laughing because I know about some of my own plans. I'm like, yeah, you're listening to that? For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, I'm laughing because, as many of you know, Cancer is my moon sign. Very proud of that fact. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, the Hanged Man is basically saying, take time to enjoy the time that you have. Take time to enjoy the experience of not having to do anything, or not being expected or demanded of. And if you are in that space and somebody tries to encroach on that, put a boundary up. You know, sometimes you have to kind of step back and say, actually, no. For your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Cups. This is a great card for money. What do we say when we see a run of cards? So you've got the 8 above, you've got the 9 right underneath. For those of you that have, and you know, we all have at least one, but for those of you that have a male ancestor in the spirit world, they are reaching out to tell you something, likely to be about your money, your finances, or your resources this week. If you dream about them, if you think about them, if you feel that they draw near, pay attention, because they're trying to bring you a message. And because it comes through the guise of the 9 of Cups, this could literally be about some form of healing or deliverance that you've been waiting for, but it could just as easily be something about your monetary or financial experience. So very nice. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your 9 of Cups is all of your internal waters, but specifically your lymph system, and it also represents actual healing. So this could be a powerful week for that. If you're thinking about getting any form of Reiki, energy medicine, you know, spiritual healing, all of that kind of stuff, this would be a great week to do so, especially with the Fool card, because it could lead to some new understanding or awareness. For your home and environment, The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfilled. This would be a really bright, beautiful week, and I actually feel like it will be one that's a lot more settled than maybe you've had in a while. For your love and relations, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in relationships, this is literally newfound understanding of love, new level of the relationship that comes when you make time for it. And it's not about, just saying, oh, well, I'm not going to work today. It's more about, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do, but this time is specifically carved out for my relationship. This week, one of the best things that you can do is make your relationship sacred in one way, shape or another. I think your partner will really thank you for it, and it will deepen your bond in ways that maybe you can't be aware of at the moment. And it might be through your partner this week that you find that new spiritual understanding. This could be Tantra, the yogi or Buddhist practices around sexual energy and all of that kind of stuff. For those of you that are single, definitely potential to meet someone this week. But I will say this person is likely to be either very spiritual, or they are likely to be outside of the realm that you understand. So you might find like, oh, okay, like, maybe you're not into popular culture. Maybe you are, they're just very, very different to you, but there's something about that really attracts you. And maybe you're trying to find this week some way of balancing that world. It's, maybe you're coming into the realization as well, for some of you that are newly seeing someone, if I'm going to be with you, a lot of my lifestyle is going to have to change because I can't balance everything. And that's the thing, sometimes we can't reconcile the differences between who we were and what we've been attached to and who we're going to be because of who we're now being with. It's going to be an interesting point for some of you of consideration. Your full moon message is the Gate 36 and greener grass. This card came up a lot for those of you that were in the winter solstice session. I do one every year. There's one coming this year. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and I've got a celebrity astrologer that's going to be in attendance. I'm so excited about because this card basically says it may not be the best move to jump ship. So you have to consider what the options are and if it is actually going to be better. The saying, like, the grass isn't always greener. You have to consider where the full moon is highlighting to you this week where you've got restless energy, and it's going to show you where that restless energy needs to be harnessed in order for you to have the right experience that you want. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.